Greetings everyone, and thanks for tuning in for this Paranormal Pit Stop. Tonight, we'll be exploring a prominent educational complex located off of Western Avenue out of the Queensgate neighborhood of Cincinnati, Ohio, that's hosted within the Art Deco and historic train station Union Terminal. Housing an amassment of over 3 million artifacts, archival materials, artworks, and more, and rumored to be roamed by lingering spirits tied to the land, to the station, and to its massive collection. Are you sure you're ready to brave the history and hauntings of the Cincinnati Museum Center? Historically, in 1927, the Cincinnati Union Terminal Company would be established under the purpose of the construction of a Union station to replace Cincinnati's 5 standing stations, which served 7 railroads and whose outdated and cramped terminals regularly experienced issues such as flooding courtesy of the nearby Ohio River. From 1928 to 1933, construction of this new station would transpire, and would include the establishment of viaducts, mail and express buildings, and of a slew of supporting structures, such as of a power plant, of a roundhouse, and of a water treatment facility. While this new terminal would get off to a slow start from a business standpoint, its traffic flow would increase sharply through World War II, before yet another slow decline over following decades. And eventually, in 1972, train services would cease when Amtrak would move its operations to a smaller station not far away. From 1972 to 1980, the Cincinnati Union Terminal would lie dormant, with its platforms and train concourse demolished. In 1980, a shopping mall was attempted on site but would fail by 1985. And around the same time, the Cincinnati Historical Society and Cincinnati Museum of Natural History would take interest in the space as a prospective future museum site, an endeavor they would ultimately jump on, resulting in the full refurbishment and transformation of the aged space. Through its restoration, several original portions of the property would see full revitalizations. In 1990, the museum would open its doors to visitors, and in 1991, coaxed by this new breath of life, Amtrak would actually return services to the terminal. More recently, from July of 2016 to November of 2018, the museum would temporarily close its doors in order to welcome a jaw-dropping $228 million renovation, which would target the bulk of its rooms. In the present, the Cincinnati Museum Center remains open, housing 5 separate organizations, the largest of which is undoubtedly the Cincinnati History Museum, alongside an operational passenger rail line that runs from Chicago to New York. Chillingly, and as mentioned earlier, this museum center is something of a triple threat, as the paranormal activity experienced within is fully believed to stem from the old terminal, from its many artifacts, and from the very land it all rests on, and those frequenting the institution's bounds have reported inexplicable cold spots and gusts of wind felt within sealed and temperature-controlled rooms, disembodied voices that emanate from vacant spaces, and phantom footsteps detected after close. A ghostly pilot has been observed near the World War I plane exhibit and has even been known to manifest within the cockpit, fiddling desperately with equipment for seconds before fading away. While from the tracks themselves, the sounds of celebration and also of crying, which are both attributed to supernatural echoes of trains for returning soldiers following the war, have been heard at all hours. Several informal investigations of the complex have yielded odd EMF fluctuations, a mess of EVPs, and orbs in strange forms captured in both photography and video, while others have described instances of lights flicking on or off, of doors that open or close spontaneously, of objects that move on their own, and of the feelings of being watched or of being followed, phenomena that have become so intense at times they've actually scared cleaning crews away from working alone at night. Finally, by far the most famous Cincinnati Museum Center legend intertwines with real history to tell of former 50-year-old security guard Shirley, who, on the night of September 6th of 1989, went to investigate the sound of breaking glass, and was never again seen alive. Eventually, Shirley's body was discovered in a shallow grave out in Claremont County, Kentucky. Incidentally, it's told Shirley's spirit, angered over being taken too soon, might still remain, and her form has been observed after dark by staff who always report feeling at ease in her presence, as she makes her way at an otherworldly pace around the building, double-checking all of its doors and windows to ensure no one else share in her grisly demise. Thanks for joining us on this Paranormal Pit Stop. If you enjoyed listening to our histories and ghost stories, subscribe to our channel, like this upload, and share us with anyone you feel could use a good scare. See you next time.